Hey everyone, here is a Mojo. This is a custom order treble booster. I call it a Mojo because these are all one-off. Each one has slightly different components, different transistor. It's basically whatever cool stuff I can find that will work with it. And I stick with the same basic circuit that I use for it, but the individual components will be different in each one. And I select them by ear and make test circuits first and just pick parts that I think sound the nicest, so that's why it's called the Mojo. This one has 3 different modes for treble, mid 1, and mid 2. That's what the customer asked for. And then the other thing I always like to include is this high-low switch here. The reason for doing the low gain mode is for when you want to have just the tone change without so much boost in volume. And it works really well if you're putting it on top of an already distorted sound and you're not really looking to boost the distortion more, you just want this different kind of tone that is the typical treble booster tone. So that's when it's really good to do that. And you ask well, why not just turn the volume way down on it? Well, the reason for having that is if you turn that into the lowest position, you'll be getting the lowest amount of noise from the circuit, less than if you were just turning the volume down. So it's really helpful in that regard. Yeah, so I'm going to play through it a little bit here. The amp I'm using is a modified Traynor YVM-1 with KT66s in the output, and I think they sound pretty good. And so yeah, I'll just play a bit. Right now the channel is pretty clean, just on the verge of breaking up. If I hit it real hard, it'll start to. And it's not a real good distortion there, but you hear how nice it gets when I turn this thing on. Alright, now the treble boost is not the same as a stock Rangemaster. It's actually higher frequencies, because the regular Rangemaster actually has a lot of lows and it's more of a weird mid-peak. So the stock Rangemaster tone is mid 1 here, and then mid 2 is a little bit deeper, but not too much. It still has a lot of bass cut happening. You hear those overtones coming out there. It's really nice. I picked the transistor in this one specifically because I heard it doing that, and the other transistors I tried didn't have those overtones the same way. Yeah, so that's it. Just turning a clean amp into something dirty. Let me put it on another channel so you can hear it with a dirty sound. So yeah, it really screams with the distortion channel there. So that's like pretty heavy, but this thing really boosts it, and you can hear it gets pretty noisy there. So that's where this can be handy. So let's say we just want that tone difference to tighten up that distortion to make it less sloppy. Then we put it in low gain, and then maybe turn this up a bit to see how that is. See, there's still some hiss because there's a lot of gain happening, but it's much less than, see, compare it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a good way to get that tone without so much noise. Sorry, this room is really noisy. I'm getting a lot of hum in the pickups. But yeah, so there that is. It's pretty hot. I really like it. You can see here I'm powering it from a DC supply. Even though this is using a PNP germanium transistor, it has no trouble working with standard 9-volt supplies like you'd use with any pedal. And it can use batteries too, but they're not by any means necessary. And it'll be fine even if you put it on a daisy chain with a delay pedal or something. It's going to be fine. I was very careful about how I did the power in these things so that it will work just fine with DC supplies. So there's no reason to worry about that and think you have to use batteries and wreck the environment. So yeah, just by all means plug it in and it's going to be great. All right, thanks. Okay, I want to show you the inside of this thing as well, because this is where it's special. All right, so you can see it's all wired point to point completely. Let's see, I don't know where to start. Anyway, these are all like nice Dale metal film RN60 resistors for lowest noise. This is, I think, an RV4N potentiometer, which is really awesome and becoming kind of hard to find. I got a selection of different caps in there. You can see an original mustard cap there, the real thing, and then some other caps in here. Input caps are like, I have an oil cap in there and a polyester cap, and the other one I think is a polypropylene, either polypropylene or polyester. Oh wait, no, I mean polystyrene. There's a polystyrene in there. Those are great. And then another special thing, all this wiring here is all pure silver. This is pure silver. Basically, the only thing it's not pure silver is the leads on the components and these two purple wires that are going to the LED, because who cares, it's the LED. So yeah, silver wire throughout. Insulation is Teflon. Another thing that's really special is this foot switch. Is made by Demont in Japan, and it is like the absolute best, finest foot switch you can possibly get these days. There's like nothing even close to it. It's incredible. I absolutely love it. It's the first build I've done using this switch, and I really like it. It has a nice, very easy and soft click to it, and just outstanding quality. Overall, totally awesome. And then, yeah, I got the usual Nichicon Muse caps. I always like using those for my electrolytics. And yeah, there you go. Point to point. You see here is all the kind of power business I was talking about earlier. It's totally compatible with DC or battery, no problem. And the only thing I'd say is don't use more than 9 volts with it. It might be okay. Things like the capacitors are rated for more, but it's just not designed for that. So it's either not going to sound right, or possibly, depending on what transistor is used, the transistor might not be able to take the higher voltages. Because a lot of those old germaniums, especially, yeah, they have lower voltage ratings. So if you try putting some crazy voltage on it, it's not going to be a good situation. And yeah, it's all biased up just for 9 volts. So please stick with 9 volts. All right, there you go.